Anybody in here? Lift your hands and say, Lord, help me to be a revolutionary. Paul now writes to this church and he says, there's some things that's going on because the Jews have too many laws. They say that you have to be circumcised. They say that this has to happen. They say this has to happen in order for you to be a follower of Jesus Christ. As a matter of fact, they are so perfect that they are telling other people, because they weren't born from a certain birth line, that they can't be a part of this new move. They say, if you haven't been to this church for a certain amount of years, then you can't be a part of this move. They say, if you haven't been a part of this person, this ministry, or that auxiliary, then you can't be a part of this move. And what Paul is saying is, everybody is offered the opportunity to be a part of this revolution. Now, I choose my words carefully. Ooh, my collar is just killing me this morning. I choose my words very carefully because here he gets all the way up to Romans chapter 12 and he says, therefore I urge you, brothers, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as living sacrifices, holy and pleasing unto God. This is your act of spiritual worship. Now, I'm not going to look at this scripture from the traditional views in which we look at this scripture. Because when we look at this scripture, we look at it from the old school perspective. And I love the old school. My whole body belongs to the Lord. My whole body belongs to the Lord. I've been there. And those ways brought me over. But as I look at this text, as you look at the scripture, you should always be illuminated by some other things. And in here in Romans chapter 12, he says there's something that's happening. People don't understand what's happening because they're looking at life and they're looking at this move of God from a natural perspective. They're looking at it by what you have and what you wear and where you came from. But this move of God ain't natural, it's spiritual. And you'll never be a part of this move of God until you get spiritual. Touch your neighbor and say, this is spiritual. This is more than a move of God, it's a revolution. And somebody say it's a revolution. I'm going to break it down in a few minutes, but revolution here, when I looked at the dictionary, it says it's the overflow of one government, or the overtaking of one government, and it's the replacement of it with another. It's a sudden or momentous change in a situation. Somebody say revolution. Many of us who went to school, we learned about different revolutions. We learned about the scientific revolution. We talked about the industrial revolution. And revolutions are interesting because it says I'm moving from one thought life to the other. And I can't embrace certain things in the next dimension until I change my whole pattern of thinking in the first dimension. If I were to make it plain, there would never be an internet had there not been some type of scientific revolution. There would never be creation and inventions as it is unless somebody had changed their thought pattern or their mind process. We would still be listening to radio and not being able to watch TV had there not been some type of revolution. And I'm going to break it down for you in just a few minutes. We would still be riding on horses and donkeys and mules had there not been a revolution. Had somebody not thought that there is more for us than where we are. We can get to one side of the country to the other side of the country within a day if we were to change our thought process to the extent that we can create something that will fly from this part to that part. Y'all, am I talking to y'all in here? Somebody say revolution. It is the ability now to move your mind, to shift, not even to move your mind, but to change your mind to the dimension that is no longer your mind, the mind that you used to have before. Somebody say revolution. He says here, are y'all following what I'm saying? He says there's got to be a shift. Somebody say shift. And there's got to be a total, and I'm using my words carefully because and I'll make this point. Revolution is more than transformation. Somebody say revolution is more than transformation. Because to transform means that it's of the same substance. It means I'm taking the same mind and I'm just cleaning it up a little bit. But that's not what the scripture is saying here. Somebody say revolution is more than transformation. Revolution is more than reformation.